Hi, I'm Velvet with the Self-Worth Tribe, a tribe of women who accept that our past does not define our future. Today I'm reflecting back on some of the jobs that I've had and how they've affected my self-worth. I truly believe that our self-worth is directly related to our net worth. And as I look back on some of the choices that I've made, I realized that I was making some of those choices from a place of fear rather than a place of honesty within myself. And with making those choices, I have affected both my self-worth and my net worth. Now, I remember one of the first jobs that I had. I was 14 years old, 13, 14 years old, and I was working at a dry cleaner's. I was checking the pockets of coveralls that would come in. Sorry, I got a puppy on my lap. Checking the pockets of coveralls that would come in to make sure that nobody had left anything in the pockets before it went to the machine. It was one of the first times that I questioned whether or not I could have both happiness in what I was doing and money. Now, it was a hot summer day and I was going through this pile of dirty laundry and thinking to myself, what am I doing? Now, I'm sure you're wondering how a 14-year-old girl got such a glamorous job. Well, this was a company that my mom had worked for and had at the time probably about 23 years. I think it's been about 48 now. So this was the start of some really conflicting feelings. First of all, I really wanted my mom to be proud of me. I wanted her to really enjoy me being in her workplace and being proud that I was there. Second of all, this was a job that my brother had done for a number of years, and I really didn't want him to think that he was tougher than me. So I realized after about 4 weeks of being there that I had a choice. I had a choice to be there or a choice to leave, and that the money wasn't a good enough reason to stay, and that my self-worth was more important than the money was. So perhaps it wasn't that clear at 14, but it's certainly how it's shaped itself into my thoughts today. Today I see that it's a pattern of how I thought you had to make the choice or the compromise between money or happiness. One of my first career jobs out of college was working for a company right out of school. I was so excited to do it. I got to move towns and this great opportunity. Now, I started out making $1,200, under $1,200, $11.97 I think, a month, and which seemed fine. I was ready to prove myself and to go out and get it. And I didn't expect to have to be working 15 to 18 hours a day for that amount of money. I had really thought that my boss was going to be a mentor to me, that he was going to show me the ropes, just like my teachers had all of those years. I hadn't expected to have to stand up for myself and see that I was more valuable to him than that amount of money, that my happiness was more valuable. My second job I had, I worked at for about 12 and a half years. It was a company that had some 20-something-year-olds in it, and we were all out to prove something. Well, this was a company that used some interesting techniques to help with its management, things like intimidation, harassment, bullying, sexual harassment, a number of things. But I was making 6 figures a year. I was living the high life. And it was very tough after 12 and a half years to make a decision to leave. It came about the time when I was starting to have to mix drinks into my travel mug in the morning just so that I could get myself to the office. There were a number of days that I would just spin my chair around and stare at the back of my desk because I had tears rolling down my cheeks because I was so unhappy. I realize now that I was really looking for other people's approval. I was using their opinions of me to gauge as to how valuable I was. It was far easier to ask their opinion than to actually look within myself and to acknowledge the accomplishments that I've made and the great things that I've done. I realize now that you can have both self-worth and net worth, and that you just truly need to believe that you are worth it. Join us in the Self-Worth Tribe, a safe yet vibrant gathering of women like you and me who accept that our past does not define our future.